All right. Hello, friends and family. Today we're going to be covering the law of awareness. And just give me a chance here to share this rather quickly on just some other pages, and then we will get started. And give me a minute. Hopefully it's picked it up. It has. Share. And just really quick. And one more share. Perfect. Thank you. All right. So today, and if you want to go grab a drink, please do so. So today we're going to be covering, it's a little bit off, the law of awareness from John Maxwell's book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And you must know yourself to grow yourself. You do, you do. All right. So who are you? Do you have a sense of direction? You have to know who you are. So you remember the story of Henry M? While this was an extreme story, it is possible that many live their lives as if they had just experienced didn't really matter. And in the book, sorry, really quick, let me just refer back to it. If you haven't read the book, Harry M, he had a he had a severe memory loss. If you ever saw 50 First Dates, it was somewhat similar to that. He just could not remember, and his long-term memory was okay, but his short-term memory was horrendous. So how would life be if you had to live your life where what you just experienced, it didn't matter? That's where the law of awareness comes in. So to grow yourself, you must know the following things. You must know your strengths. I recommend Strengths Finder is a good way to find those out by Gallup. It's, hold on here, right here. That Strengths Finder book, it's a really fantastic book, and it's got a little code in it, and it gives you a self-assessment, and it helps you find your strengths. I've mentioned it before. You need to know your weaknesses. And now, not so much your weaknesses that you need to focus on them, but you need to know what gaps you need to fill within your life with other people and their strengths. Where you need to help other people that have that strengths where you're weak, your interests and your opportunities. So knowing these four critical areas of your life tells you where you are. And to reach your full potential, you must know where you are and where you want to be. So there are three kinds of people when it comes to finding direction. People who don't know what they would like to do and they're confused. People who know what they want to do but don't do it, they're frustrated. And people who know what they want to do and do it. So these people are fulfilled. So live it, becoming aware of your own identity. How to find your passion and purpose. So, what's the need for personal awareness? What does it mean to be personally aware? So I want you to explore some of the following questions regarding finding your passion and your purpose. All right. Let me just check my slides here. All right. So finding your passion and purpose. Do you like what you are doing now? If you're not enjoying what you're doing for a living, you need to take some time to explore why. Consider this example. So if a person sets out to run a mile and 3/4 of the mile ahead there's a cliff, should that person try to finish running the mile just because he started out to do so? It's saying if you need to change course, you need to change course. So what is it? What is So what if what we are doing right now is simply the wrong direction? Changing what you're doing is a risk, but what if you don't change? Which risk would you rather live with? Would and I'm going to go back to the book that was written in 2012 by that nurse, and I can't remember her name. Can't remember her name, but she was that hospice nurse who recorded the 5 top regrets. And one of them was definitely that they didn't risk enough in their life. So what would you like to do? This is the question of direct passion. There is a definite connection between finding your passion and reaching your potential. So what are the reasons that passion helps someone reach their potential? You can't go where you hate going. Let's see. Gotta have a dream. Passion gives you an advantage over those who have none, and passion gives you energy. So finding your passion requires listening to your heart. Feelings do matter. Sorry, I should go back to the previous one. So feelings do matter. Oh, come on. What do I do? Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm off on my slide there. So can you do what you would like to do? So dreams are necessary for success, but not every dream is possible due to your natural limits. Do you know the difference between what you want and what you are good at? Let me say that again. Do you know the difference between what you want and what you're good at? Do you know what drives you and gives you satisfaction? Do you know what your values and priorities are? And what are your organization's values and priorities? Okay, well, I'll go back to the first one really quick. What you want and what you're good at is not necessarily always the same. I don't know. I could say that I want to be a jockey, but at 6'5" and 95 kilos, it's a virtual impossibility. You know what I mean? Or it's like, you're set. You're limited by. You've got limitations. You're not unlimited. You do have limitations. Physical limitations in certain things that you may want, but not what you're good at. So what do you know what drives you and gives you satisfaction? That's a good one to understand. Do you know what your values and priorities are? I've covered this quite a bit in some of my other teachings. In intimate relationships in business, you need to think about your uncompromising values. things that you will not cross that line, particularly in intimate relationships and your career, because those things may not show up right away. It could be a year, 5 years, 10 years away, and then they show up, and it will then just suck the passion out of you and destroy your dreams, destroy relationships, destroy your career. You need to ensure that whatever you're going into, that your priorities and your values, your priorities, your goals, your dream, that end result, and the values, the uncompromising values and things that you just will not do, they need to align before you commit. And I know it's difficult. A lot of people will take on relationships or careers that because they fill a space and they feel comfortable now. But if you do that, you're going to pay for it in the end. Another one, what happens when your values and priorities differ with the organization? Are you willing to change yours? I just covered that. And, there's a quote by Samuel Johnson. Almost every man wastes part of his life in attempts to display qualities which he does not possess, he or she. Let's see, is that in my... No, it's not. Previous. Okay. So I'm going to say that again. Almost every person wastes part of their life in attempts to display qualities which they do not possess. Are you doing that? So look at what your unique talents and gifts are and work within them. Highly suggest the Strengths Finder. Also, there's for your spiritual strengths. What's the name of that test? I'll have to put it in the show notes. I will. Do you know why you want to do what you like to do? So this is the motives question right there on the bottom, the right motives. Even good things done with the wrong motive can become a disaster. So remember that. Even good things done with the wrong motive can become a disaster. Motive and manipulation can be seen very similar. So ensure that your motives are right. Okay? All right. So do you know what to do so you can do what you want to do? So this is the what now question. So awareness. Awareness is about becoming very conscious of every choice you make. Keep on going there, a little slideshow. So action. So the major difference between those who do it and those who don't do it. It is those who do it that do it. That's the action part of it. Accountability. So this can be shared accountability with a friend or a coach, or personal accountability. Go back one. All right. So do you know people who do what you'd like to do? So once you figure out what you would like to do and where your strengths are and your gifts are, you have awareness of that and your talents, what gives you satisfaction, where your values and priorities align, you have that same goal, what you're good at, then you need to ensure that if you can find somebody, mentors or coaches that are doing what you would want to do, what you'd like to do. And then you can attract those people into your life. All right. And now B. So these are the B principles. So be committed. If you have to, pay people for their time and advice. Be consistent. Meet regularly with someone who can help you. Be creative. Learn from people even if you can't meet them. Be purposeful. Prepare for every interaction. Don't wing it. John discusses in this book, when he meets with people, he would have an hour of preparation, then he would meet, then he would have an hour of reflection after meeting with people. I mean, that's being creative and about learning from people and maximizing your time with them, adding value to them, and them adding value to you. So be grateful. Always show appreciation for what you're learning from others. Then find that coach or mentor and possess that teachable spirit. Always be prepared. Ask questions. Of course, questions. Whoops, sorry. Demonstrate learning from them and be accountable. If you are a mentor, let's see. Let me just go back really quick. So if you're a mentor, you should focus your teachings on the following areas. And sorry, I don't have a slide deck for this. It's strengths, temperament, track record, passion, their choices, advice that you can give them, support and resources that that person might need, constructive feedback, and number one, encouragement. So many people just don't receive the encouragement that they need in life. And just a little bit of an encouraging word can really just set people free and on a path of growth. So in the mentoring relationship, it's important for the mentee to explore his or her own learning by observing this process here. So it's about, here is what I asked to the mentor. Here is what I heard you share with me. So this is what they're talking to the mentor about. Here is what I did. Now can I ask you more questions? And that helps. So that's the mentee's responsibility on the meeting. It's like, okay, last time we met, here's what I asked you. And here's what I heard from you last time we met. Here's what I did because of what I heard from you. And now here are the follow-on questions or the next phase. You know, a mentor is raising up a leader, the mentee, but it's also the mentee's responsibility to pull what they need out of the mentor also. Yeah. All right. Deeply important questions. So the goal is to find a mentor relationship that's mutually beneficial. And so these are some of the important questions. Will you pay the price to do what you want to do? So what will it cost to change? It will cost everything. So I want to read very quickly this poem. It's a poetic quote. Poetic quote. Oops, 31. All right. So this piece is called Dream Big. And it's full of encouraging words, but it also captures what it takes to follow your dreams. It says, if there were ever a time to dare, to make a difference, to embark on something worth doing, it is now. Not for any great cause necessarily, but for something that tugs at your heart, something that's your aspiration, something that's your dream. You owe it to yourself to make your days here count. Have fun, dig deep, stretch, dream big. Know, though, that things worth doing seldom come easy. There will be good days, and there will be bad days. There will be times when you want to turn around, pack it up, and call it quits. Those times tell you that you are pushing yourself, that you are not afraid to learn by trying. That's a good one. So remember, most people are not willing to pay the price for change. All right. So when can you start doing what you'd like to do? So it's kind of talking about starting scared and unprepared. You know, when will you start doing what you want to do? You know, is it someday? You need to just step out and do it. You need to step out scared and unprepared. It's not fake it till you make it, but it's, you know, learning, but it's about taking what you've learned and using that, taking your strengths, taking your talents, because so many people, myself included at times, don't believe that I'm enough, or that who would want to learn from me? What do I have to offer to other people? And remember, you just have to help those you're just a few steps in front of. What will it be like when you get to do what you want to do? So this is the question of defining success, and what does success look like for you? What does the statement mean for you? So the two greatest days in your life are when you are born and the day you discover why. I love John Maxwell's, and I've kind of tailored it for myself. You know, success for me, for John Maxwell, is knowing your purpose in life, growing to reach your maximum potential, sowing the seeds to benefit others. And that's John's. What I've added for myself is it's also about living naturally and a healthy life so that you can maximize what you offer other people. If you do not have your health, it's very difficult to be successful in any facet of life. Yeah. All right. Oh, already done that one. Oh, okay. So lead it. When you live this law, you will show others the way, and then empower them to learn it and live it too. So applying the law of awareness in your life. So these are just some of the tips and a review. Spend some significant amount of time and answer these questions for your own life. So what would you like to do? What talents, skills, and opportunities do you possess that support your desire to do it? What are your motives for doing it? What steps must you take beginning today to start doing what you want to do? That's the awareness, the action, and the accountability. What advice can you get along the way, and from whom? What price are you willing to pay for it? What will it cost you in time and resources? What sacrifices are you willing to make? And where do you most need to grow? Start with your strengths and the future, and the future more than your weaknesses and the past. Well, that's it for the law of awareness. If you've got any questions, please let me know. And next week we will be covering, what are we covering next week? The law of the mirror. Bless you all and have a wonderful week. Thank you. Bye.